Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the VA Hunting Bros podcast. This is Eldon, and Lowell is here with me, and we're going to talk over the last couple of weeks of our deer season here in Virginia.
Welcome back to our Virginia Hunting Bros podcast, where we don't take ourselves too seriously, and we're only average hunters at best.
And we're only average at keeping up with recording podcast episodes.
Right. So I think we mentioned another time, but we got back from, two podcasts ago, we described a little bit. We'd gotten back from Missouri, and we had basically 1 week of muzzleloader season left, and we actually weren't able to hunt that much the week after we got back because of all the catch-up stuff that we had to do.
And life in general.
Yeah. Life is busy.
So now it's December 3rd, and
so we've had several weeks of our rifle season here in Virginia came in on, I believe it was November the 13th.
Something like that.
And unfortunately, in our part of the state, from our perspective, I'm sure there are many people with different perspectives, but we have a very long rifle season, 6 weeks, and kind of right through the heart of the rut. And probably if we had our way, we would be fine with a...
Well, there's a lot of things we would change if we had our way, so I'm not sure if we want to get into that.
That's probably a whole another podcast, probably archery hunting maybe through November, maybe a little bit of muzzleloader or something like that. And,
if we had our way.
If we had our way.
Yeah.
And a couple-week rifle season in December. I wonder actually what would happen.
I don't know. Maybe we should have a biologist on our podcast and see what he thinks.
Yeah, because I'm sure the deer harvest numbers would drop drastically. Yeah. So I wonder how you balance that all out, because we do have a pretty big population of deer.
Apparently.
Anyway, that wasn't really the focus of this podcast.
Excuse me while I yawn. It's been a long day.
So I guess we really haven't even had terribly exciting hunts for the most part.
Till about last Tuesday morning.
We've been trying to hunt. Well, with your work schedule, you are a little more limited than I am. Yeah. I've had a few more hunts where I was able to get out earlier. Other than that, if you get a chance, you slide out really close to home here.
So we have some decap tags, I guess, here on our home farm. So one nice thing about that is that you can hunt field edges and shoot does theoretically.
Right, so you can harvest
even though it's buck season.
During buck seasons. But it's got it specifically here on our farm.
Yeah. So my thinking has been the last couple of weeks I'd like to shoot a few does, but that hasn't worked out, and I haven't been able to slip out too much anyway. So, but you've been hunting a fair bit more. Well, some mornings.
Yeah, that's true. Especially on Thanksgiving week, the week of Thanksgiving, I didn't have to do a morning school run, so that freed me up a little bit.
Right.
So I hunted. I was trying to think if I went out that Monday morning. I'm not sure. The Tuesday before Thanksgiving, that's basically what we want to talk about anyway.
That's what we're getting around to, yeah.
I was able to get out that morning. I drove down to a property, another farm that we hunt about 15 minutes from here.
Yeah.
It was a chilly, frosty morning. Chilly as in like low 30s and fairly still. My intentions that morning was to kind of still hunt along the edge of a cutover, mainly just to cover some ground, and thought possibly I could get some intel on or something that would maybe help me either later, like that evening, if I could come back down there, or later in that week, because I was going to try to hit it hard around Thanksgiving when maybe didn't have to work quite as much, and so forth. So, I saw some deer. I was easing along, trying to kind of take my time and use my binoculars and scan this. Where I was, it was a hillside, and I could see a long ways from my vantage point. Saw a small buck, eased on a little farther. Then I actually saw a pretty nice buck, and he was probably 400 yards away or 500 away,
something like
out
that.
of my range, and just no real shot opportunity. Saw the buck first, and then saw 4 does almost immediately after that.
They were chasing him, right? Didn't we talk about that?
It always seemed like that. They're kind of the same area.
Yeah.
And then they all disappeared, but from where they were, I knew they kind of had to go down into this big wooded draw that has some cut over, and
in some ways they're
it's
kind of
just
heading
thick.
towards you, but
yeah, but I really didn't know what was up or where they were headed.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
just kept working my way along this cutover, and I got down about as far as I could go quietly. I was able to slip along a field edge, basically, where I could kind of watch over into this place. Anyway, I thought is what I wanted to do was see maybe where they were going in. I thought maybe they would bed down for the day, and maybe I could make a play on them later that night.
Or even later that morning. I mean, you could have came
Yeah, depending if I
from the other side.
saw exactly where they were.
Anyhow.
Didn't see anything for quite a while. Just kind of kept standing, actually, just kind of watching this hillside. Probably a good half hour, 45 minutes after I saw the buck. I was trying to I think I kept hearing some stuff down in there, but I couldn't see deer. Then finally I saw a big rack down through the brush. I just caught a glimpse of it, and it was actually close enough that I thought I better get where I could get a rest, and I could probably maybe get a shot. It would have been probably 200 yards. It's a little long for me and my rifle capabilities.
Your rifle is capable.
Yeah, it's more me that's the problem.
Well,
I just generally don't shoot deer that far away.
Well, especially not offhand.
Right. So I turned around and quickly got back to a tree, and the angle or whatever, I couldn't see it anymore. I lost it, but then I kind of knew where they were now, and ended up like watching with my binoculars. I saw another small buck down there. I saw a doe down there. So there was some chasing and some weird stuff going on. I could hear some stuff and see them like running around, like some stuff was going on. I don't know if there's a hot doe in there or what all was going on. Anyway, something was going on.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of watching the scene unfold and trying to figure out there wasn't really a good way to close the distance. It was just too thick to actually.
Yeah.
It kind of had some open stuff between me and them, but then
you wouldn't
the
have been
actual
able to do
draw,
it
I don't think
either.
you could have actually made a stalk and got down in there on them. So I was trying to figure out what to do, and saw across the horizon some dogs, and these weren't even not like deer.
They weren't deer hounds.
Deer hounds are actually illegal in our part of the world.
Yeah, it's something we're actually familiar with.
That's another discussion for another podcast.
Yeah.
Not really our thing, but anyway, a lot of people seem to enjoy it. These are just like free running dogs.
Free range,
domestic dogs. Like I think there was a black one and a yellow one, if I can remember right. I don't know. Anyway, they're just cruising through this field. I don't know what they were doing back there because that's a long ways from my house.
Yeah.
Just running along and running right towards this ravine where the deer are. And not really running, just kind of moseying along, but heading somewhere.
It wasn't like they were chasing the deer.
No, I'm pretty sure they weren't. They were just heading.
Wherever they were going happened to be the same place.
So I'm like, man, I got really frustrated. So they're going to go in here and bust this whole thing out, and the deer are going to scatter. And anyway, I won't be able to pattern anything or do anything for later in the day. But I did notice they were heading right towards kind of my direction, but the deer were in between. If that makes any sense down this draw. So I said, well, at least better move up here and get ready in case, because something's going to happen. I'm pretty sure,
one way or the other.
Yeah, And so sure enough, they popped down over the edge, and immediately I think they could see the deer. They started barking and running. They barked a few times and running. I could hear a deer running. And sure enough, a doe comes boiling up out of the steep ravine and running past me probably 40 yards away. And so I said, well, I guess I better get ready because another one might come. And sure enough, behind her, a nice tall rack deer came running along. And
was this when you said you saw like the side of him and you're like, oh, I don't know if he's as big as I thought he was?
Yeah, from the side, like he seemed like he had, I don't know, I it all happened quickly.
Yeah,
but he kind of had a funny rack. I could see there was some character in his rack, but he didn't just like blow you away with his size.
Yeah.
I was trying to decide, okay, is he for sure a shooter or not? And I was pretty sure he was on the club there where we hunt. You have to have 4 points on the side. And I was pretty sure he had that. He wasn't like just all out running, but he was, moving along.
Yeah. We call that jogging.
Okay, something like that. So anyway, I made a decision. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a shooter, and I better shoot. So I shot. He was running, but he wasn't that far away.
It's like 50 yards, right? You said?
Yeah, I think it was even closer than that.
Okay.
Yeah, probably 40 or so. I mean, I can make it sound better if you want.
No, it's fine. I just thought that's
anyway,
what you said.
But it wasn't an all-out run, so I shot once, and he kept running for a little bit, stopped. He actually stopped.
Okay.
And
well, that makes more sense with what we saw later.
Yeah, and there was some brush and stuff there, but I could see like the top of him, top part of his body, his head, and so I just kind of triangulated down where I thought his vitals were, and I knew I shot again. I wasn't quite sure if I'd hit him on that shot or not, and I shot, and he immediately disappeared on that second shot.
Yeah.
So I was pretty sure I had knocked him down, but I wasn't positive.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Eased out into like the direction he was, and he was laying there.
And then he proceeded to text us, and nobody replied for 15 minutes.
It always happens to me. No one.
Yeah,
responds.
that happened in Missouri as well.
Got up there, and he was bigger than I thought. He was a very nice deer.
Yeah.
Had a funny rack. Like he was really heavy.
It's a mainframe
really
8.
Tall. Mainframe 8, 9 points. He had a split brow.
Yeah.
Tine basically. But just very heavy. And his rack is weird. He's not hugely wide. Comes all the way around and actually slightly overlaps
in the front.
On the front. It's a very interesting deer.
Yeah, fascinating. And like you say, a lot of character. Very heavy.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most impressive things about it, just his mass.
Yeah, really sweet deer.
Yeah, very very nice deer for our part of the world. Probably, I think he's pretty old. He's kind of had a little grizzled look to him.
Yeah,
and
you said he was bruised up. And
he had some scars on him. Hoof place on his hoof
that was really
kind of
weird.
Messed up. Yeah. And I was trying to think what else. Yeah, at least 2 or 3 marks. Maybe a mark up on his head, maybe around his eye or his ear. I'm not sure. He's definitely fighting. And then that morning he had been rubbing because he has a lot of gnarly stuff around his bases, and it was all full of fresh shavings from all the stuff he was doing down that ravine. So it's cool buck with a lot of character, and I was very tickled and excited. I mean, it was just kind of one of those things that happen. My takeaways were, I was out there. You can't kill them if you don't get out. So I think I kind of put myself, I guess, in a position to where I see a long ways, and with a rifle, of course, you can make a move on things. And I think one thing we've been trying to do this year is just gather intel and use that to like build on your knowledge base for your future hunts. That's what we're attempting to do. So I was hunting / scouting at the same time, And
we've said for years that, if we would hunt around here like we do when we're in Missouri, it would change things. And this isn't like we don't have a full week to hunt, but we're trying to learn things as we go.
Yeah, and then keep acting on
Yeah.
the most recent information, I
Yeah.
guess, instead of just hunting our previously hung stands or spots that have been good other years. We're trying to, I guess, have a reason why we're hunting those spots.
Yeah.
Is sort of our philosophy for this year.
That's right.
So, hoping for more to come, but
Yeah, it's right at a month of the season left, which I know sounds really weird to people in other parts of the world, but that's what we're looking at.
yeah. So we've had a couple other decent, some places I think seemed like good spots. A couple places I was going into, I found like fresh grapes within the last 2 weeks. And I took that as a good sign. Something was in the area. Didn't end up seeing anything on both of those hunts, but we will keep looking for fresh sign. One thing I've been listening to a podcast about and been doing a little digging around on is the second rut. Like, I think before I always thought once you kind of get past the 20th of November, things are really winding down.
Yeah.
I was seeing that buck, what he was doing that morning and stuff, it kind of
made you question some of that.
Yeah, I think you can still have some pretty good action. I mean, I've heard other people talking about it, around Thanksgiving can be a really good time, maybe even a time to get a older buck who's, up on his feet chasing those last or looking for those last few does. And can ease on into November. I mean December. I think a lot of people just kind of think November's past and give up. But I think if we keep actually hunting somewhat often as we can, and with sort of the same mindset that we had in November, like trying to building blocks, most recent information, and instead of just trying to hunt field edges and shoot does,
which is mostly what I've been up to.
That's kind of what you've been forced to do.
I guess, yeah.
A couple spots I'm thinking of that are back in maybe kind of remote stuff has been pushed to and thick, but maybe with some food, and I'd like to slip in there and do a hanging hunt. Kind of like I would have in November, just see what happens. I don't know.
Did you pull that tree stand you were in tonight? Just curious.
I left it in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's yours.
Oh,
and
let's see how it is.
Dragging it out. No, it's actually not a.
You put it up, so
it's actually not that bad a spot. I haven't seen deer both nights I set it, but
maybe we should try to.
The one night there was a combine around and some things going on, so I left it. And man, that was a bit of an aberration. Tonight, it really felt good. The wind was really good for that spot, and slipped in. I actually didn't tell you this, but I pulled the trail camera on that scrape on the way out, and there's been nothing in since it was opened up a week ago.
Yeah. No does or anything?
No, about 7 squirrels and 1 raccoon.
I just wanted to make sure the camera was working.
Yeah, camera was working.
Huh. That's weird. I guess we need to plant better food plots next year.
Well, yeah, wish now I almost wish we had an acre of corn in that food plot.
It's kind of I don't know if it's a
season.
Weird year for around here, but it seems like there's not a whole lot of food at this point.
A lot of cut bean fields.
Yeah,
but,
that's
beyond
that.
No wheat really coming up much.
Yeah, usually we have a fair bit of small grain. It seems like maybe that's actually not true now that I'm thinking through.
Well,
in the past we had,
yeah. So just sitting on field edges might not be the thing right now.
Yeah, if they're not looking for green wheat that isn't there.
Anyway, I heard a guy talking about the second rut today.
Okay, yeah.
Heard a podcast.
Yeah.
Hunting Public, and that really kind of got me fired up. He really believes that it can be some of the best. Well, he said the most underutilized time.
He talking like into December? Or?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Like I know some people are talking about the
I think the
15th to 30th of November, generally kind of in the quote-unquote lockdown phase, I guess.
Or that's just slightly maybe after the lockdown phase.
Maybe
The end of
so.
November, that's when a lot of people talk about big bucks, and I think
Yeah.
that can spill off over into the first week of December
Okay.
a little bit. But then he's especially saying 28 days after the peak of breeding, which from a lot of places 15th to the 18th. So I'd put it almost into the middle of December. But he was saying the next. This was with Jeff Sturgis.
Okay.
Habitat Solutions.
Yeah.
Anyway, smart guy. I like listening to him. But so he's taking the
maybe
next.
they should just go listen to that podcast.
Yeah,
episode.
probably should. He's taking the next week off, and he's really excited about it.
Okay. Good for
Or
him.
he's planning to really. He has a few spots saved.
Yeah.
And he's gonna kind of go back. He says go back into your rut spots and kind of hunt like you would the rut,
Yeah.
but look for open scrapes again, because he said they'll start opening them back up. And when you have a nice open scrape or scrapes, then there's a nice one in the area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a buck in the area.
Interesting. Well, maybe we should keep hunting then, I guess.
Yep, probably so.
Yeah.
We still have some more tags. We should at least shoot some more does.
Yeah, that freezer should be used, I guess.
It should be fuller than it is now. So
Yeah.
yeah, nothing too exciting. That's just what we've been up to.
Well, it's that buck was quite an accomplishment for us. We've not killed bucks for a number of years around here, so
That's true. I guess not.
Yeah.
Passed a lot of them, but
we used to be quite picky, and that was part of our reasoning for not killing deer. But then we started to lose our pickiness, and it still took a couple of years to get another good one down. But
we're just trying to learn.
Yep.
We don't have it figured out.
And I mostly just learned from Lowell. He's definitely a little bit crazy or something.
Some people say addicted.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
I'm hoping to drag you over to some public land here before too long.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we should, if we do pull that stand, we could maybe try to do some sort of hanging hunt Friday or Saturday.
Cool. I was actually thinking that too.
But I'm not quite sure about Friday yet. I have a little issue at work, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it. If anything else exciting happens in the next few weeks, we will let you know, and I'm sure we'll do a recap.
Yeah,
at
probably
the end
do
of
a
the
wrap
season.
up. There you go. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. If you've made it this far, you are a true fan, and we really appreciate it. And I guess if you want to, you can head over to vahuntingbros.com. Follow us on Instagram or Facebook or something. And
or just don't.
Or just don't, yeah.
That's okay.
This is for us anyway, right?
This is for us, our future selves.
It'll be funny to listen to this in 20 years, but...
when we know more than we do now.
When hunting has been outlawed. Never mind, let's not go there. All right, we'll see you.